Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Call Allah Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahawashi, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. Okay, real quick lesson. When they post, when they post one of these viruses coming out, it later hits us. It later hits the world, maybe in about 2 to 3 months, so it can the news can kind of fizzle out about it, and people can go to sleep on it. Okay, but we have to keep in remembrance that we are at the end. Okay, and that Satan is going to be working just as he worked against the Native American Indians, the tribe Gad, Reuben. Okay, just as they used the biological warfare diseases. Okay, diseases to kill. All right, to kill the Native American Indians, Gad. They still do that in this time. Okay, this is why you have the CDC harboring so many diseases. Okay, why are we harboring? Why not just destroy them? Okay, because that's part of his weaponry. That's part of his arsenal. Okay, his sword ain't just gonna be a shiny ass sword that's made from a blacksmith. No, it has been perfected. It has been sharpened. Okay, let me grab that real quick. The sword. The sword is perfected. Okay, there you go. Ezekiel chapter 21 verse 11. Okay, it says verse 8, Ezekiel chapter 21 verse 8. Again, the word of the Lord Yahawah came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahawah, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Shall we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. And he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer. Now, who's the hand of the slayer? Okay, who's the waster? Who's the destroyer? Okay, let's go there real quick. Well, we know, Salaki. We're not gonna go there. We know that Esau Edom was given that sword by Isaac. Okay, the blessing of the sword, and by thy sword thou shalt live. Okay, and what else? You go here. Okay, by the sword thou shalt live, and okay, and then what's the other one? The Lord said, I have created the smith to blow the coal. Roughly paraphrasing those scriptures. Okay, if you brothers can throw it down in the chat, Baba Kashan, the water, but and the waster to destroy. Okay, but here it is. It says, and he hath given it to be furbished, verse 11, that it may be handled. And handled by who? Okay, this sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer. Cry and howl, son of man, for it shall be upon my people. Okay, it shall be upon all the princes. And I don't know if it's in Romans 13. Let me see real quick. Romans 13. Which Sakari, I don't know if they still teach it, but they used to teach this, that it was Jacob, that this was talking about Israelites. I think it's Romans 13. Slakia. Romans 13. Okay, beautiful. You can read up from 1. It's pretty good. Romans chapter 13, verse. Her rulers are not a child. I'll start at 4. For he is the minister of Yahawah to thee for good, But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of Yahawah, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. Okay? Wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. Okay? So this is showing you that, for he is the minister. Esau is the minister of Yahawashi on the left-hand side. This is not talking about Jake, because Jake don't bear the sword like Esau does. Jake doesn't bear the fucking sword. Okay? Stop, stop misusing it. Stop teaching the scriptures wrong, man. This is talking about Esau, okay? Because if you go to the top, it says, let every subject, verse 1, let every subject be subject let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. For there is no power but of Yahawah. The powers that be are ordained of Yahawah. So that's obviously showing you that, the powers that be right now, meaning kingdom, on the kingdom level, is Esau, Edom. Okay? Verse 4, though, jumping down to verse 4. For he is the minister of Yahawah to thee for good, but if thou do that which is evil, be afraid. Yeah, he is the minister of God. He is the minister of Yahawah to thee for good. Yeah, the Lord, it says, when your ways please the Lord, roughly paraphrased, and make it for your enemies to be at peace with you. Okay, so it's all according to the Lord Yahawashi, man. He says, in the scriptures, roughly paraphrased, it says, when your ways please the Lord, he maketh an enemy to... Oh, I gotta get it. And I didn't intend for this to be that long. When your ways... Okay? Proverbs chapter 16, verse 7. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues without right. A man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directed his step right. The Lord can make Esau do good for you, okay? When you get stopped for speeding, or you get stopped without a seatbelt, and in all honesty, the man can give you a ticket, man. But guess what? When they do stop you, the Lord be on your side a lot of the times. And hey, man, the Lord put in that man's spirit not to even think about, right, I'm gonna let you go this time. I'm gonna let you go this time. Just put your seatbelt on or stop speeding 15 miles per hour above the 30. Okay? So just showing you that he can minister minister of Yahawah for evil and good. Okay? All right? Because remember, the blessing is coming from Yahawah. Yahawashi. All right? So yeah, with that, let's jump back here. Okay? Because I kind of got lost in it, but yeah, just showing you that Esau is that one right here in Ezekiel, okay? That's that sword being sharpened. All right, verse 10, Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 10. It is, and let me read that now. Son of man, prophesy and say thus. This is what we saying to the people, man. That the devil is coming down on you, having great wrath in different ways. Okay? He's going to use biological warfare. He's going to use the food to take you out. He's going to use different things before he got them put his hands on you, man. Okay? All right? Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord Yahawah, say, a sword is sharpened. And ultimately, it's the Lord Yahawashi. It's him wielding the sword, which is Esau, Edom. He's using Esau on the left-hand side. And also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter, okay? And these diseases and pestilences that pass us through, by day and night. Through night and day. They're made to kill a lot of these 2/3 Jakes. It is furbished that it may glitter. Okay. Should we then make mirth? Yeah, you 2/3 Jakes, you in the mirth spirit. While Esau is harboring up that hatred and is perpetual, and that sword is perfected to do damage. Okay. It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. And he hath given it to be furbished that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer. Okay, it says, cry and howl, son of man, for it shall be upon my people, is the Israelites, it shall be upon all the princes of Israel, terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon thy thigh, because it is a trial. And what if the sword contemn even the rod? It shall be no more, saith the Lord Yahawah. Okay. So let's jump here real quick. I want to read that real quick. So it says, why the Ferrari of viruses is surging through the northern hemisphere. All right, norovirus, which causes explosive diarrhea and vomiting, may be on the rise because of an antibody dodging variant. And hold on, we gotta read that. Of an antibody dodging variant and post-COVID-19 socializing. All right, the Ferrari of viruses, I'm gonna say the Ferrari of diarrhea, is having a banner season. Norovirus, which races through cruise ships, homes, and long-term care facilities, is experiencing a remarkable winter surge in the northern hemisphere, sending large numbers of people racing to the bathroom and many others to the hospital, and in rare cases proving fatal. In the United States, for example, 91 outbreaks of the intestinal virus occurred the first week of December 2024, far above the previous maximum of 65 for the same week between 2010 and 2024, and levels of its genes in U.S. wastewater are an order of magnitude above last year. Okay. And no, let me just find some good stuff. Okay, it says some of the I'm right here. Some of the surge may be due to a new variant of the viruses unfamiliar to many people's immune systems, and the resumption of cruises and other gatherings that the COVID-19 pandemic interrupted. And there's no vaccine anywhere in sight. The most advanced candidate just failed a key trial, and others won't be ready for several years. Okay, norovirus thrives in cold climates, causing explosive diarrhea and vomiting that typically only lasts for a day, but several weeks after people recover, they can still shed the virus, and it can remain infectious for long periods on surfaces. It is notoriously resistant to many disinfectants and studies, and that's Esau Edom, man, because Esau Edom makes the defectant chemicals, bleach. Esau made that. Okay. So they can make a disease that's not going to be able to be swept up by those chemicals they made to clean. All right. Too many disinfectants and studies in adult volunteers have shown just a trace of virus enough to sicken a person. Okay. And look at here for you guys that like these seafood. Okay, oysters are also a source of infection because the filter feeding mollusks concentrate the virus from contaminated water in their tissues. U.S. health officials issued several warnings about infected oysters in December, and France has banned oysters harvesting in certain regions because of norovirus outbreak. And that's the Lord Yahawashi. That's the judgment, because you're not supposed to be eating that. It says whatsoever in all water you eat, fish with scales. Okay, fish with scales, man, and fins. Okay. All right, jumping out. For most people, the virus is a rapidly passing misery that creates the wrong kind of unforgettable memories from a wedding or a holiday gathering. But it can be pretty severe, says Mary State, a virologist at the Baylor College of Medicine, who is a leading researcher in this small field. Although norovirus-related mortality is low in wealthy countries, it kills an estimated 200,000 young children in the developing world each year. Wow. Even in the U.S., it's the leading cause in the U.S. of hospitalization for diarrhea disease, hitting young children and the elderly particularly hard. All right. Immunocompromised people, particularly cancer patients on chemotherapy or transplant recipients taking anti-rejection drugs, can have chronic infections that last for months or even years. Many sickened people also miss work, globally leading to an estimated 60 billion in annual losses. Wow. Okay, so you see it there, man. You know, the Lord is not playing around, and this is a form of using that sword. Okay. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11, we was told who was given that sword. Okay, lest Satan should get an advantage in the King James Version of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And I got to get that whole thing, but let me see this real quick. 2 Corinthians chapter 2. That was 11. Chapter 2. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. All right. I wrote to you as I did to test you and see if you would fully comply with my instructions. When you forgive this man, I forgive him too. And when I forgive whatever authority for your benefit, so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. Okay? And that's what's going on. We're in an evil time right now. Okay? Evil schemes, all right? Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 17 right here. So will I send upon you famine and evil beasts, and they shall bereave thee, and pestilence and blood shall pass through thee, and I will bring the sword upon thee. I, the Lord Yahawah, have spoken it. All right. And the famous right quick, Matthew 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Okay. And then this is always a great prayer to read right here. Real quick. Psalms chapter 91, verse 1 through 16. All right. Which is beautiful, man. You know, this is a good prayer that you can read, but I'm just going to jump down real quick. Verse 5. Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. Okay. 8,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. And that's the thing. It's not just going to be guns involved. People are going to be falling from diseases, hunger, thirst. That goes with hunger, but thirst, hunger, famine. Okay. The sword, pestilence, earthquake in diverse places, they're going to be falling from all these things, okay? But yeah, that's pretty much the point. I wanted to grab this real quick. Give me a second. Okay.
All my real rights, listen up. Cause 9 times out of 10 something ain't right. And I'm telling you right now, your stomach will lose the fight. Cause violent diarrhea bug, dubbed the Ferrari of viruses, is hitting Americans in a record number. Alright? And I'm not going to front. A lot of my real rights have been getting sick lately. They've been, saying it's the flu, but they trying to say that your stomach going to get fucked up from this one. This is new. Alright? Nobody got time to be in the club. You randomly just get sick and start the shit and shit. We don't need that. Keep your ass home and away from me. Let me be alone. But all my real rights, pay attention to your phone, because they saying this bug is going around. And Trump, I don't find it a coincidence you get in office and all this shit start going around. We ain't never had no shit like this. What the fuck you don't put in the air? No bullshit. Y'all be safe though.
I like that. You heard what the young Jake said, man. This is called the Ferrari of viruses. It is a pestilence. As you see, it's putting 200,000 down, children down. I think maybe adults might be in that number around the world. So stay focused, stay laser focused, man, and work on your health, man. We fall from time to time with our health, but it's imperative that you don't give up. You can fall, but you don't give up. So with that, I'm gonna say, Lord willing, it's edifying. We're gonna give our honor and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.